Time now for a look at business with Mike Eppel from CityNews 680. Mike, good morning, friend. You good?
Hello, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. A lot to get to. Let's dive right in here.
Yes.
And the GTA real estate market showing no signs of slowing down, really.
Well, this is kind of remarkable, Sid, when you think that mortgage rates have gone up exponentially over the past year. But what's happened is, even as borrowing costs are going up, you've got newcomers coming into the market, and the supply of houses for sale continues to be near historic lows. Supply demand pushes prices up. Sales are up as well. The Toronto Regional Real Estate Board saying this morning that for the month of June, sales came close to about 7,500 total, and prices year to year up 3%. Now, again, spring last year was kind of the low of the market, so the fact that prices are up, not a surprise. But you look at components of the real estate market, Sid, detached home prices up 13%. The only laggard was really the condo market, where prices were down just a little bit. But it's the supply crunch. This is the issue. You see something go up for sale, it does not sit on the market very high, and a lot of reports about things selling at over asking. So again, the Bank of Canada wants to slow the housing market down, but they're pushing against a string by the looks of things here. Borrowing costs are going to keep going up. I don't know when the real estate market's going to crack.
It's remarkable to see. And there's a lot of people watching this going, I have no shot of jumping in on this. Not now.
Well, that's just it. It's if prices are up and borrowing costs are up, then your monthly carrying costs are higher as well. And that's putting the Ontario Chamber of Commerce saying, look, if you've got all these factors and money going into real estate and the monthly carrying costs of that's taking money from the other parts of the economy. And it's also slowing down maybe entrepreneurship because, somebody who wants to start a business going, that's great, but I can't bring people in because it's too costly to have housing. And it's just all of these opposing factors right now.
For sure. Watch this space for more info. We were also watching the Stellantis argument with the federal and provincial governments concerning the Windsor EV battery plant. And Mike, I shudder to think how much in tax subsidies this is going to cost the federal government, but the deal is very much back on.
Yeah, they're resuming construction immediately. It had been put on hold because Stellantis, the operator of Dodge and Chrysler and Jeep and Ram vehicles, said that they hadn't had a firm commitment from the feds in the province to backstop the construction of this EV battery plant, and it was apparently negotiated, and we heard the commentary with details to come. That was the talk from the federal finance minister and deputy prime minister Chrystia Freeland on in the government's announcement yesterday. Said, so yes, we don't know. Is it 13 billion again, like they're giving to Volkswagen for the St. Thomas EV plant? Again, these numbers, they're huge, Sid, but again, they're spread out over a decade time frame. So we kind of have to look at how this is being funded, who's paying the freight, but it is, again, trying to get more supply of EVs and building Ontario, transitioning the local auto market into the electric space as opposed to fossil fuels.
That's, again, I can't wait to see what the dollar figure is like on the tax subsidies, but let's move on from that because it'll make me sad. Let's go to Bill C-18 here, the fight between the federal government and Meta, Facebook and Instagram. Yesterday, we told you that a press conference was going to happen, or media availability was going to happen with the Liberals and the NDP and the Bloc Québécois. What they announced was the federal government, in a story where they're complaining that Canadian businesses aren't spending enough advertising on local news, said that they're going to pull the money that they weren't spending themselves on local news advertising from Meta. I think it's a bizarre announcement, quite frankly.
Well, I think you have to separate the two there because, again, they are targeting the Meta and Instagram platforms, or Facebook and Instagram platforms, for federal government advertising, which is about $11 million. That is separate from what they're spending on traditional advertising outlets or media outlets. At the same time, however, what the Heritage Minister was saying, that they're pulling federal government advertising. Oh, but the political parties themselves aren't stopping their advertising on Facebook or Instagram. So there's a little bit of a double standard here, is there not? Like, shouldn't they just say, okay, we're doing this and we're doing that? But maybe, because guess what? How do the political parties raise money, Sid?
Social media lately.
Yes. Ding,
Angry
ding, ding,
people
ding,
on
ding.
social media. Give me money. That's how that works.
Rage farming. Exactly. Exactly. So yeah, you got to figure that the parties themselves are not going to stand the line against the big tech companies who, at this point, they're saying they're not willing to negotiate to pay for the links and set that precedent. I think that's the bigger issue here, Sid. If they do it here in Canada, watch the U.S. market space for all of that.
For sure. The other thing I learned yesterday, which I didn't want to know, is, I mean, aside from the $10 million that they were spending on advertising on Meta, the federal government's spending about $1 million on LinkedIn advertising, which is essentially burning $1 million here in Yonge and Dundas Square. That's what that gets you. There's, like, I saw Snapchat advertising. The money waste in that. I wish I didn't see that figure yesterday. I really wish.
21 million total. 21
it's a
million
lot
total,
of money,
think,
and not all of it's going to
levels.
and not all of it's going to smart apps and smart sites that will get you eyes. 30 seconds.
MySpace.
Meta and Threads, the counter to Twitter is up and running. I got on last night. Will you follow me? Will you follow me on Threads, Mike Eppel?
I don't need more social media, Sid. That's just me speaking. So apparently, a lot of people do. Mark Zuckerberg's already said that he. Okay, so what is it? Are we? We were tweeting. What are we now doing? Threading?
I don't know if that's the term, but we'll think of something.
What's the phrase?
Anti-tweeting. I'm going to go with anti-tweeting.
Oh, anyway, 10 million people have already signed up for this because it's tied to Instagram and Facebook, Sid, and the user base for that is what, 1 billion people?
I mean, they have about 3 billion users a month on Instagram and Facebook.
So. Well, okay, so there you go. And you compare that to Twitter, which is a heck of a lot smaller.
300 million on Twitter a month.
Base.
That's the number, 300
million. Yeah, they've got this user
base.
The user base is a lot bigger right off the bat. Now, again, you know, the feds, by the way, yesterday they pulled their advertising dollars from Facebook and Instagram. Meta stock went up 3%, Sid. So Facebook's really worried about what Mark Zuckerberg's really worried about what our federal government's
doing with their
really advertising dollars.
Again, you can follow Mike Eppel at the Real Epps on Threads. Find him there.
Hey, no, isn't it a regular Instagram?
We'll talk about it. We'll talk. It can be. You can change it to whatever you want. Anyway, it's new. We're all learning together.
I don't even know what my Instagram name is. I got to look that up again.
Oh yeah, that's important. Go look it up. Mike Eppel, CityNews Seixeiro. Appreciate you. Take it easy.
Bye.
I'm Team Follow Back. Mike, help me out.